I watched my daddy get executed by the state for homicide, dude.
What?
And right before they zapped him, he looked me right in the eyes, and at the top of his lungs, he screamed, "Never let the party die!"
Welcome to Flyby Films. Once or twice a month, using the magic of distance-defying tubes, we get to discuss film. And these films are not just normal film. These films have been certifiably forgotten. Like, forgotten. Real quick side note here. To throw Demetrius under the bus again. He once, when we did our episode where we were explaining the rules of this season and actually going back to forgotten films, he was like, so basically all you're gonna be able to watch is like whatever Charles Bronson movie he talked about on that episode. For like, you're just gonna have to watch that over and over again. And clearly, we are picking some legit film.
I'm actually surprised that we're doing as well as we have, because I think this episode and the next episode are actually like, they fit this to a T, and they're not terrible movies. Like,
No.
if you go to the Rotten Tomatoes score, you'll get like a mix of things, but like, don't. And
both of the films we'll be talking about this month are in the I believe the 30s, 40s, 50s on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah, they're not highly regarded, and in fact, in one of the cases, I think today's movie, it's been actively like, they've tried to forget it. Like, the director really doesn't want this remembered. The main actor
That's a wicked ripping shame.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. I'm sure.
But yes. So Demetrius, buddy, pal, we will get to Electric Dreams. I know that that's one you want to come back on the show for. We will get there. You will have your chance in the sun, but I just wanted to point out that we are killing it on our film selections.
Well, I'm just enjoying it because I don't think any of these movies I've watched and gone, "Oh, that's a waste of time."
Now, have there been some that I wouldn't actively watch again? Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean,
but I would.
I
didn't. Oh yeah. That's what I'm done with this season.
Yeah.
Like there are some I would not actively choose to watch again. But I didn't look back on any of them so far and be like, I can never get those 2 hours back.
No, and I think the one that I'm thinking that I am not too worried about ever watching again or like caring about is actually today's. Like, I don't think it's a very good movie, but there's actually like a very, very good thing attached to the movie, and I'm sure we will touch on that.
Well, this episode will be a nice throwback to the first half of last season where we were doing. We'll talk about later.
Yeah.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm here with my friend across the universe in Chico, California, Jameson Barsotti. On this episode, we're going to talk about Ned Kelly from 1970.
I would like to point out no one was able to guess that.
There was only one person who guessed, and he guessed twice, and he was wrong both times. Like, tragically wrong.
Blake, would you like to explain your clue? I believe your clue for this was dancing in the streets.
Yes, I will gladly explain this, because anyone who knows anything about, I don't know, classic rock or classic pop rock would
David
know
Bowie.
that Dancing in the Street was David Bowie. It was a hit by David Bowie, and it featured who? Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
And who is playing Ned Kelly in today's film?
In the 1970 film Ned Kelly, it is played
Mick
by.
Jagger.
I was
Mick
going to do
Jagger.
drum roll. Yeah, Mick
No.
Jagger.
And there was some dancing. Not necessarily in the street, but there was dancing.
There's some dancing in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. There's this really awkward moment where he tries to like do his head like the bird.
I think,
and I don't know what that beard is. I don't know what he was going for with that beard, but he kept it the whole film, and I kept trying to figure out the choice. The choice that was made.
There are photos. So Ned Kelly.
Have you looked at photos of Ned Kelly? He has a ferocious fucking beard, man.
Yeah, I have. I was gonna say he has a beard. I don't know. I haven't seen all of the photos of him, but maybe it was in the style of that. It was a bad beard. Honestly, like,
he looked Amish.
Okay, I know we've promised our audience bullshit for, the first portion, but we could get a few things out of the way. We can get a few things out of the way. Mick Jagger is not good in this movie, and actually that's like one of the things that kind of drags it down is just his acting is pretty atrocious.
It was pretty atrocious, but this will be the first and only time you will hear me defend anything about the Rolling Stones. But yes, it was not good, but it didn't take away from the general enjoyment I had of the film.
Yeah. I think maybe I am a little less on the film than you, but I don't think it's a bad film.
Oh, and no. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I would say on the whole, it still it still wavers in the negative for me.
Yeah.
But like we've said up to this point, like I came away from it. I was like, there were enough choices made in the cinematography and the editing of the movie that I was like, okay, there was a vision for this film. It wasn't just okay, we've got a budget, let's just shoot some shit and see what we can put together. Like, no, the director went into this and had a vision for it. And did it work? Yeah. No, but I've said this before on numerous occasions. I would rather someone go big and fail, than otherwise. So
yeah, and I think the vision for this movie also maybe didn't fully make it onto the movie portrayal of it, because if you have any ears, you're listening to the soundtrack of the movie while it's happening, because that's a very prominent feature of the movie. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of things going on in the soundtrack that the movie doesn't fully explore. And it is to the movie's detriment, but also the fact that the soundtrack exists elevates it to, a different status. So yeah, and we will fully do that. But you know what?
Hey, Jameson, I forgot to ask. Our intro monologue says, Jameson or Blake, how have you been? Alt this out for a random question comment to start the banter. So I have a random question.
Yes.
I don't care what you're about to say. It's not important. My question, I need to finish this monologue. Okay. Blake. So I need to finish it.
Finish it.
Jameson, how have you been? No one cares. I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who is your favorite historical figure? And secondarily, if this said historical figure has been captured on film, hopefully numerous times to make the decision harder for you, what was your favorite portrayal?
Okay, so this sucks because I don't think my
You
honest
don't know any
answer.
historical figures? That's cool.
Well, okay, for one, fuck you. You're the history guy. All of my history is based on movies. You realize that. So, like, this is,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, you
The
know,
two I'm gonna pick, Jameson, the two I'm going to pick, I don't give two shits about an actual like historical reality. But the movies made it for me. I'm like,
yeah,
I know that character or that historical figure because of this fucking movie.
yeah. It's okay. And I'm going to backtrack a little bit. That's not completely true because my honest to goodness response, that isn't a fucking Jesus juke, which I will get to. When you first texted me this question, I was like, I don't know, Blake. I think I'm just gonna Jesus juke this, which is just choosing Jesus. And then, no one can argue with me because it's Jesus. Come on. Um, but I'm not gonna do that. But if we were to choose Jesus, there was discussion about either it being Jim Caviezel or Willem Dafoe. I can't tell who
No,
is
picking
more
both.
controversial.
Therefore, we could get canceled by both political sides.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, one of my favorite historical figures is a mathematician by the name of um oh fuck
Oh
what
shit! Is this Beautiful Mind?
no, it's Kurt Gödel. So he has this theory um or this theorem that basically,
This is the guy I sent you the article about.
oh yeah, it
That you were
is.
like, this is barely mathematic, like
Well,
math.
you were like, I have this math
I
thing,
said,
and then
math article for the day, and you're like, "Bleh, this is math. Bleh." I was
well,
like,
it was
sorry.
it was poor exegesis on the actual theorem of Gödel's,
Wait,
but
okay,
it
Goodell.
was it is interesting. But yeah, Kurt Gödel is probably my favorite historical figure. Um,
Did
and
someone
he's
actually
a
play him in a film?
so I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is I've never seen a film with him, but he is, I think, in the movie The Imitation Game, which stars Benedict Ben
Cumberbottoms.
Benedict Cumbersnatch. Uh, yeah. No, Benedict Cumberbatch. So he in that movie he's playing Alan Turing, and they were contemporaries. And actually, Kurt Gödel's theorem was the basis for a lot of what Alan Turing did with computers. So basically, uh, Kurt Gödel is the godfather of um, unknowable mathematics, which I just think is really cool. Um,
Mm,
so
okay.
the history. Do you want the history?
Yes, give it to me.
The history is that there's this other guy, Bertrand Russell, which you may know from like certain classics like philosophy and things like that, because he was also a philosopher. But he was a mathematician around, somewhere in the Enlightenment period, and was kind of at the end, but like math enlightenment, which came a little bit later. But basically his whole thing was like, oh, we need to make mathematics consistent and complete. And he wrote this entire book that is god awful, but very, very important about this topic. And then there was these questions that was like, okay, let's finish off. Let's prove that there can be a mathematical system that's consistent and complete and
closed.
contains all of the stuff that we know, basically. So like all number theory, essentially. Like, so 1, 2, all those counting numbers and anything that stems from that. And then Kurt Gödel comes and says, oh, guess what? You can't have that. Here is a proof that says it. You'll never know everything, and if you do, your system is lying to you. So, yeah.
It sounds like
anyway,
a Jesus joke anyways. This guy had to be a Christian. He was like, you can't know everything, you stupid.
No, I think it's just I like it. It's a good reminder that that we are finite creatures that can't know everything.
Would you like to know a nice little side story that links into Kurt Gödel?
Mm-hmm.
So, back before I knew you, before I knew anything about mathematics at all, because I've learned everything I know about mathematics from you, Jameson.
I'm sorry.
There was, he's no longer a musician. I mean, I'm sure he still plays music in his spare time, but he's not putting out albums. Levi Weaver, I used to listen to his stuff, and I believe it was his last album, was dedicated to Kurt Gödel. And the idea of the incompleteness theorem and whatever else he did. Anyways, I had him come to play in Amarillo a couple times. Nice guy, super, super fun guy to talk to. He would stay with us each time, and we would stay up till midnight hour trying and just shooting the shit. But yeah, that's my type. I didn't know anything about Kurt Gödel until this very moment. I knew the name, but I didn't know any of the history or why he was important.
Yeah, so he just he represents a turning point in mathematics.
I do. So he is played. He is played by someone, and it is actually a good movie. Did you ever see the movie IQ?
No, I didn't. But actually, I was. It's funny. I haven't seen that movie, but
you should.
It's Walter Matthau, right? As
playing Einstein.
Yeah, Einstein. So.
And it's Lou Jacoby playing Gödel.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. That makes sense. I was actually thinking that portrayals of Einstein would be probably like an approximation of this, because they were kind of around the same time, doing work.
I don't see anyone else as Einstein except for Walter Matthau.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could provide a film for you to watch and to assess and to say yay or nay. This is my favorite portrayal of Gödel.
Yeah. Who do you choose, Blake?
So I've got a handful. Because I couldn't really pick one.
What's the question, Blake? You wrote this question.
Okay, fine.
Favorite.
I will pick one. And that one is Marie Antoinette. And you know damn well what my favorite portrayal of that was.
Yeah, I do. I only know one portrayal of Mary Antoinette.
I mean, the freaking English royalty has been filmed like
Oh, I'm
all over the
sure
place.
there's like a
There's
million,
tons.
but like
But the
I
only
can't.
one that matters is Kirsten Dunst and Sofia
Yes,
Coppola's Marie Antoinette. Come on.
Marie Antoinette. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great fucking film. Anyways, that's who I would say. So that's the hard part, is that I wouldn't say she's one of my favorite historical figures. I think she's incredibly interesting as a
Yes.
historical figure. Um, but the people who like live in my head are oft people that are like strangely like incoherent.
Hmm.
Like they had ideas that seemed to like not work with each other. Like Teddy Roosevelt. I love me some Teddy Roosevelt, even though he was imperialist scum, but same time, we don't have national parks without him.
That's
So
true.
he was a conservationist.
You know,
So I mean,
it's almost like people can be multiple things, right?
oh, it's amazing. It's almost like they're not monolithic. It's
Almost
almost
like they're
like
not.
people can contain multitudes and it
Yeah.
not be coherent.
Yeah, we have
Anyways, off the
there's
soapbox. Um,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, I think I think I'm a big fan of Ned Kelly as a character or as a figure in history. He seems like a pretty cool dude. Um, I honestly don't know how a horse rustler became so big in history. Um, Maybe it was all the bank robberies afterwards, but I mean, he just there's been plenty of bank robbers in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm almost curious to read a biography of Ned Kelly to figure out exactly what about him led to him being remembered. Because this is by far not the only film that's been done about him. There's
Well,
one in like 2000 with Heath Ledger. There's one more recently called that dealt with like the family itself a little bit more than just
yeah.
Ned. And then I think there was
The
probably an
only
older one. I think
the
one of
only
the
thing
oldest films, one of the
yeah.
oldest recorded films was about Ned Kelly.
No, no, there are a lot of films like this was the first color film about Ned Kelly, but there were plenty of black and white ones. Um but one consistent thing about these is that the only thing about Ned Kelly that seems to be memorable is Ned Kelly, because all of these movies who who remembers the most recent Ned Kelly movie? I don't. You were like, there was one that was made in 2019. Wow, big
I
fucking
remember it.
deal.
Do you know why I remember it? The only reason I
Why?
remembered that there was one in like 2019 was it had the lady from Babadook in it, and
Oh,
she
okay.
played the mother, the mother of the Kelly crew. And I at that point, like at that time, I remember seeing the preview for it, and I'd be like, oh, that might be worth watching. You know, why not? Give it a shot. Um, but yeah, never did, and forgot about it until this movie.
Well, and the one that came out in 2001 with Heath Ledger is actually the reason why I chose this movie was because I was looking at that movie because we had forgotten to include it in our it's not actually a true forgotten in our appraisal of the McDonough brothers
Oh,
because that is most known as being, even though it was a Heath Ledger movie, you know, one of 10 or whatever that he
uh-huh.
made that made him, you know, this classic A-lister who died too soon. But it was also written by John Michael McDonough. It's his first
Ah,
writing credit. And so I was like,
nice.
oh, that would be interesting. I'd never seen it. I almost forget that it existed. And then I realized, oh no, there is a Ned Kelly movie starring none other than Mick Jagger, one of the world's most famous rock stars in all
Yep.
of rock and roll history, and no one talks about this movie. No one seems to care about this movie at all. And when you read about it, it was kind of panned, and the director kind of disowned it. The Mick Jagger disowned it, probably for good reason for his reputation. Um, but it seemed to be buried, and so yeah.
Mhm.
What do? We dig things up.
Yep. We don't let sleeping dogs lie. Um,
Uh, do we want to get into the movie already?
yes. Yes. Yes.
I
I feel like there's some quality fodder in this film.
Okay, let's go.
Unless you have something else.
I
Because before when you tried to interrupt my monologue, you sounded like you were about to start asking me something. So if you would like to rethink about what that was and ask it now,
no,
it'd be a good time to do it.
I don't want
Or
to
you can
do
just save
that.
it for the next recording if you remember it.
You know what? Yeah, we're recording right after this. And you know what? If we make it to 45 minutes and cut this one at 45 minutes, shortest episode but complete. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Exactly.
Might not be consistent, but it'll be complete. And that's okay, according to Kurt Goodell. Gert Goodell.
Gert Codell.
Gert Goodell.
Yeah. So I to continue on this Mick Jagger train. Do you find it funny? He is one of the most well-known rock stars of the 20th and to some extent 21st century. And he gets one song on the soundtrack.
Yes, I find that
which
funny.
I thought is probably the greatest choice made on this film. No one wants to hear moaning for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not terrible. He can sing.
The song is actually quite good.
The song is good, and it's gentle. Like it's one of the most gentle songs on the album. And I think that's an actual good choice. I do think there was probably a decision that was made by the studio to say he needs to sing at some point in this movie. And so we're probably getting that song because of that.
Yeah.
Because it does feel a little strange that there's no other songs with Mick Jagger. But it's not a musical per se, right?
Yeah. It's very much
kind of a meta
it's very
musical.
much well, and it's kind of like it's typical of a low budget 70s film. I mean, you think about freaking Last House on the Left. I mean, there's a whole scene where there's like Keystone Cops music playing in the background when the cops are doing their thing. I mean, it's just weird. Like it's almost like they're just playing a soundtrack in the background and then like letting the movie play out over the soundtrack. It's the most bizarre choice. Like it's not even like I think about like if you're creating a soundtrack that's going to be like legit a part of the movie, the number one that comes to mind is The Knight's Tale, where it's like it's almost like a meta commentary on the movie itself, and it's being silly in the way it does it, but it's doing it effectively, and the needle drops are really fucking great. But it's just at times like the music in the background in this movie, while it's good, makes no sense with what's going on the screen.
Yeah, also, the movie itself is kind of this like detailed, it's low budget, but it's pretty detailed like Australian bush drama. And
It's
You
considered one of the first of the like 70s bushranger films.
yeah, but so you think about that, and Mick Jagger's song makes sense because it's actually organically comes up in the movie. But all of the other songs are very much American country songs.
Yeah, outlaw country
Uh
no less.
outlaw
Which
country,
is the tie. Which is the tie.
which is the
Yeah,
tie, but it has this kind of weird
yeah,
like kind of inconsistency, just
yeah.
weird feel to it where you're like, this is not the American West.
No,
This is the down under West.
yeah. This is freaking Crocodile Dundee
There is that one
West.
character from California.
Yeah, who just up and leaves whenever shit
Yeah,
starts going down.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and Ned Kelly's like, yeah, fuck you. Go have fun. Go to your land of freedom and equality. I think is something he said in the way.
yeah.
um, yeah, it's so anyone who wants to listen to the soundtrack, you can find it on YouTube, whatever. You can also torrent it. That's about the only way you can find it. You could probably find a vinyl copy of it on eBay if you looked hard enough.
Yeah.
The the cover of this album is fucking amazing.
So this is one of the coolest things in the movie, I feel
Yeah,
like, is this image of Ned
yeah,
Kelly in homemade armor made out of like their like metal that was lying around and pots and
mm-hmm.
pans,
Yep,
and they kind of create this armor, him and his brothers, and then in one of the final scenes he like wears it into this big shootout, and I have no idea if this is a actual thing in history that happened, but
mm-hmm.
it was pretty fucking cool.
And that was a really great shot because they showed the camera through the eye slit
Mm-hmm.
on as he they're shooting at him and he's shooting at them. Like I was like, that's a cool concept. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's done well and it's like and it's as far as an action movie goes, it's kind of fucking cool. So
Yeah.
um yeah, no, the imagery is I think I used the word indelible with you one time. That even though they don't do enough with the armor in the movie, like it's almost an afterthought in some ways. Um, that image of Mick Jagger in the full like headdress, armored
Mm-hmm.
headdress, and the armor all over his body is really like that. This movie should be remembered for that image,
Yeah.
if nothing else. And that would be something I would not rid myself of if I was Mick Jagger because that's fucking
Yeah.
cool.
It it's really cool, and I think it ties with kind of the larger uh complicated nature of the movie because you know that shootout, it's cool, and it almost, it starts out like, oh, this is kind of a neat idea. He's not getting hit and he's able to kind of keep going, but like it devolves into this chaos where he's not getting hit, but it's like causing so much damage to his senses
Yeah,
as like he keeps getting hit with these bullets through
the
the armor and
ricochet and like
the
yeah,
ricochet and everything, and he ends up falling on the ground crying. Like I honestly think that's like that
mm-hmm.
is the best scene in the movie, um and I think it better than some of the other scenes gets at this complication of outlaws like being evil and also like standing up against oppressors more than the rest of the movie kind of feels like it's dealing with that.
Yeah.
But that's definitely apparent in the soundtrack. So
Oh, very much so.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we've made it explicit, but this movie is like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack is fucking great. Like,
Yeah.
If you are a torrenter or a YouTuber or something like that, do yourself a favor and listen to the Ned Kelly 1970s soundtrack, because it is really good. It is mostly songs sung by Waylon Jennings with a couple Chris Christopherson songs,
Mm-hmm.
one Mick Jagger song, and then I think there's one other
Tom Gent.
Tom Gent at the end.
Yeah.
All of the songs were written by who? Blake.
Shel Silverstein.
Shel
The motherfucking legend himself.
Yeah. And it's awesome because they're well written songs too.
Well,
like
I feel that's a pretty common thing for him though, because he wrote one of the most iconic Johnny Cash songs. Boy Named Sue.
Yes, this is true. Yeah.
I mean it's a fun song. Like his songs tend to always have a sense of humor, even if they're super dark. And some of the songs on this album are really fucking dark. But there's always a levity to them, even then. And I think specifically about the scene where he kills his first constable, I guess. And what's playing in the background?
Yeah,
Lonigan's Widow.
Yeah. Lonigan's Widow,
the whole point of the song is Ned Kelly is this great like historical figure, all this stuff, and he did good, he did right by his people and all this stuff, and he's a hero and all this stuff, but don't tell that to Lonigan's widow, who's crying.
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's got a kick to it, man. Like, yeah, there's this. I think the chorus is all about how everybody's singing this song of praise to Ned Kelly, but not Lonigan's widow. She's singing no songs.
That is something you don't see very often in films. Is the use of soundtrack as a interrogation of the film,
as a kind of a moral guide, I guess.
Or just giving a different perspective on something. Like, even if it's not necessarily like, I mean, I think a song could be like completely immoral, and it's still noting an element of this that's not being visually shown.
Yeah,
that's going on in the background.
You never see Lonigan's widow, right? No. Like, and that's I think that's what's great about it is you just assume that Lonigan's widow exists, right? Yeah. Because of this song. Or maybe you don't until this song's playing, and then you're like, oh fuck, he has a wife. He has a family.
Well, and the moral of the story is sad. Anyone who gets killed, whether they're quote unquote good or bad, has a family that's mourning their death. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also in the soundtrack is this song, I forget the name of it, but the song about this guy who his wife and kids die of starvation.
Yep.
And I think I was trying to figure this out. I didn't look it up. Did you look up the term squatter and how it's being used?
Not in the movie, no.
Yeah,
I mean, I know technically, like in the lingo of like property, what it means, but I don't know how they meant it in the movie per se.
I was trying to like figure it out, and I think what it is I think they were using it as someone who moved to Australia and didn't do any work, just like
So that fits within the general, like,
owned. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think they were calling these people squatters, and so this song is about this guy who his wife and kids die, and there's this squatter, so this rich gentleman who just keeps getting fatter and fatter, all the while
Yeah.
there's like supposedly a famine going on, but this guy keeps getting fatter and fatter, and so he kills him because he's hoarding all of the resources, and it's it's about the injustice of that too. So like on this soundtrack you have these songs too where you like are kind of on the side of the oppressed, and then other songs where you're not necessarily on the side of the oppressors, but you see them as complicated individuals and maybe not full on oppressors in the case of Lonigan, who was just a constable. Maybe he's a bootlicker, but he has a wife, he has kids probably, and things like that. So yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I like about this interplay of film and soundtrack. Even though film is like we've said a couple times now, I think there is enough going on that is it tells me that there was a point. Like there at every point in the making of this film, the people making the film had an idea of what they wanted. Were they able to execute it? Well, I wouldn't say so, but that's not to say that they didn't execute what they intended. But I think there's enough going on here that I'm like, okay, like clearly there was some thought put into this. Like it wasn't just accidental. Like it's clearly there. It's in the text itself. I'm not just reading into it. And so I was actually kind of wowed because I don't see this interplay between film and soundtrack often. Occasionally you'll get a film where an instrumental piece in the background is discordant with what is showing on the screen, but you don't really get that with lyrics. Even I'm struggling to think of an example at any point in film history outside of goofy ones like Last House on the Left. But I feel like that's a really interesting approach to meta commentary. Like, I'm not going to come out and say this, but I want you to think about it. Like, I'm not going to, this is not going to be on the nose, but I want you to like note that there's a wider world outside of the story than we're able and willing to tell.
Yeah, because in that scene, I mean, you kind of like have like a twinge of like, I think Ned Kelly says, "I didn't want to kill you" or something like that. But you're never really, you're not like rooting against Ned Kelly in that scene, right? Like it's not filmed to where he's the bad guy, but the song specifically takes that persona where it's like, nope, to this one person, he is a bad guy. Like, you should think about
one person's kid, or to this one person's mother, or pick your poison. But at the same time, like what the soundtrack is led off by Waylon Jennings singing the song Ned Kelly. And I remember the first few lines, notably talking about, oh no, this is Wild Colonial Boy. This is the Mick Jagger song. Never mind, it's not Ned Kelly. Although the first song is really great. But there's a line in there where it's talking about, I think it's, oh man, I keep wanting to say Tom Joad, but that's Grapes of Wrath. But whoever the character who is the wild colonial boy is, I can't remember the name. Um, they're talking about his birth, and he is his father's last hope, and his mother's like his mother's true hope or true love or something like that. But it's expressing the fact that this one boy came into this world and is not disconnected, is not an autonomous individual coming into a world. No, this kid is already burdened by the weight of his parents, the weight of the history that they've lived in. Like, it's all coming down, and that speaks to Ned Kelly. He's born into a time, specifically in Australia, which is rampant with all sorts of crazy shit, with the history of penal colonies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which is, but I mean, you're talking about a guy who was born into a world that he did not choose, and is told to live in it, and to find his way through it. And so on that, just very very experiential, existential level, you can't give him too much shit.
Yeah.
He's finding a way. He's moving through it. Yes, he's not 100% moral, but who is? I mean, it's just the way the songs kind of bring in the moral depth of the world in which you're watching is just impressive, and I am amazed by it.
And the humor of it too. Like,
oh yeah,
so we're talking about these heavy songs that deal with these heavy things, but then there are these two songs that I can think of. One of them is one of the Chris Christopherson songs, "Son of a Scoundrel," that is about this character whose friend gets wealthy, and every time he sees him drive by, he shouts, "Was your mother a whore? Was your father, a scoundrel? You're of Australia, so I know that your lineage is rotten, right?"
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point. And it's kind of like this outcast who, the society that's rising up in Australia is trying to, like, throw them kind of out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, he's like, "No, I know all of you. You guys are all fuck ups. Like, you all come from them." And then there's another song. I think you just kept saying, like, "This is such a bop. Like, this is so good." "Blame It on the Kellys." And this, gets even more to the situation that Ned Kelly is in, right? Which is like, he's just trying to live, and there are these, these upstanding society figures who are moving in around him that just don't like his family. And so they start pinning, things on him and things on them, and getting the constables to kind of like, what's the word they use? Like, I think they keep calling them, it's like fresh or something like that, or not fresh.
Yep.
There's some
fresh.
there's
Yep.
Oh, is it fresh?
No, it is fresh. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they keep calling them fresh, and how they need to take the freshness out of them, or whatnot, just because, basically, like, conform them. But, as you said before, like, Ned Kelly, he's just kind of born into this, and he's trying to make his way through. And so this song is about how there's all of these things going wrong in, and just blame it on the Kellys. And, like, the narrator's like, "Well, I think I might just steal a horse and blame it on the Kellys," and like, anything, like, there's a 102-year-old who dies, and they're trying
By
to figure
like
out the
lightning
reason.
strike or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
they're 102, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
But blame it
They're
on the Kellys, nonetheless.
yeah, no one murdered them, but blame it on the Kellys anyway,
Which
And
is typical Shel Silverstein. Like that's
mhm,
that's the kind of shit he would write all the time. It's just like it's
yeah,
absurdity.
yeah,
But it's absurdity that exists in the world.
yeah,
Like there are just some people you don't like, and so you try to put as much crap on them as possible. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
dude. Shel Silverstein is my MVP for this movie for
no,
sure.
hardcore,
Like,
hardcore. And I do want to shout out Chris Christopherson because even though he only gets a couple of songs on this, I I consider him one of the greats songwriter
mhm,
wise. And
yeah.
and he, like most songwriters, his vocal delivery is an acquired taste. Um,
Oh, I loved it. I love it.
oh, I know. I would
Yeah,
much rather hear him than I would, like, generally speaking, Bob Dylan. I like Bob Dylan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Bob Dylan, but his delivery is not always the greatest. um,
yeah,
and so, but that's fairly common within the greats of singer songwriters. It's like Woody Guthrie. Do I like Woody Guthrie? Yes, I do. Do I want to listen to him sing his songs? Not always.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
um,
what's easy. You know what's easy to forget?
what?
The singer-songwriter who sounds like just everyone else. So,
That's right.
better to sound like shit than sound like everyone else. So,
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. No, I would highly recommend if you're going to choose to watch this film, listen to the soundtrack first. Kind of get, you know, whatever, the songs are telling you in the back of your head. Watch the movie, which needs to be at least 20-30 minutes shorter. There's a lot of wasted space kind of in the middle, and it makes it hard to
mhm.
kind of drudge through. But the beginning, I would say that the first 30 and the last 30 are pretty solid. Like they're watchable, and I largely enjoyed them. I actually found the first like 5, 6, 7 minutes of it to be, whoa, this is bold. They're making
Yeah,
some bold choices here, and then it just
I
like peters out.
yeah, yeah. No, I had the same exact like I think I watched it a little bit before you and then like
Yeah.
you texted me that and I was like, "Oh, I know exactly where you're at."
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So yeah, if you guys watch this movie, let us know what you think. If you listen to the soundtrack, let us know what you think.
If you
Tell
listen to
us
the
if
soundtrack, tell us how many times you had to listen to it afterwards because it's nearly impossible not to replay it. So
it's very replayable. Like I
it's short. It's only like 36 minutes.
it
Like
yeah
you can
yeah.
play it 3 times in an hour and a half. You
Mm-hmm.
can play it 4 times in the time it takes to watch the movie.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're only gonna choose one of them, choose the soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
But
Soundtrack. Yep. I
yeah.
mean, you'll get the meat
Uh,
and potatoes of the story through the soundtrack.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think you'll get more from the story through the soundtrack, like a more
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
view of Ned Kelly and his family. So,
Definitely.
but yeah, anything else you want to mention?
If you want to read about Australian history, I highly recommend Robert Hughes's The Fatal Shore. It's one of my all-time favorite history books. It's thick as
All right.
fuck, but I read it in college and wrote a paper on it, and I think about it quite often. So, it's depressing as fuck, though. So just know that going into it, because it is real sad. So, yeah, that's about all I got. Oh, and listen to Waylon Jennings and Chris
Yeah.
Christopherson. They're great.
Yeah.
Always have been. Always will be.
All right.
Read some Shel Silverstein or listen to his songs.
Bye.
Bye.